How to bag your 100 X's. Yes, today we're going to do a case study of GalaGames. Is now the right time to buy because it's been exploding for the last 6 months. Big retracement, but we're going to look at it in terms of what's the potential and what's other things that you want to take into consideration to bag your 100 X's. Really, really important. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to focus on currencies, but now exclusive on cryptocurrency. So let's dive straight in. So GalaGames has been massive, right? It's just exploded since June last year. Did a massive move to the upside. So if I just bring this up over here, like so, massive move to the upside, big correction, but we want to see what's likely to happen next. So now it's a top 100 cryptocurrency ranked on 52 on CoinMarketCap. Today's market cap is $2.1 billion, GalaGames. But what I want to kind of remind you of is the following. Right, I've got this chart here, market cap on the left and time on the horizontal. And what we want to remember is all projects start as a seed, is young, and there's a lot of innovation that needs to occur. And this is where the most potential is, but also the most risk. Most potential, but most risk. So under 10 million market cap, under 1 million market cap, under 500,000 market cap, where the potential is the 100Xs, right? So you want to be buying early and young, but keep in mind, you have to do your own due diligence, your own research, because there's more risk. Then a project matures, it has a launch, its roadmap, it kind of executes, has more customers, etc. And naturally, it increases confidence. So the demand for the token goes up. So people buy the token more, hold the token more, stake the token, and if it has utility, are using the token. So then the market cap of the project goes up. So the upside potential decreases, but the risk also decreases. And then it matures again and matures again, and so on and so forth. So where is GalaGames right now? Where is a $2 billion market cap, right? So GalaGames, I'm seeing it as a mature project, top 100, top 52 cryptocurrency project. But we want to use it as a case study. Can we find the next GalaGames? We're going to look at what's the upside potential of GalaGames also. And that may fit your risk tolerance better because it's much more mature, much more predictable in a certain way. But then other projects that haven't taken off yet. And we're going to look at that in the bottom left as well. So GalaGames, right? Let's just look at this part of the market. This is last year between March and June. We're just going to zoom in over here. And CoinMarketCap allows us to zoom in. And this is what it looks like when we zoom in, right? This part down here, this is what it looks like when we zoom in. Here, it doesn't look like anything, right? It just looks almost flat because of this huge upside movement. But when we take this out of the equation, there was a time when it looked like this. And I want to tell you this is the risk because there's probabilities, never certainties when you're looking at projects that are at this stage. This is much younger than when it is where it is right now. So we've zoomed in. So over here, the price was 0.033. 0.033. And down here, just 3 months later, was 0.006. And why I say this, because I want to show you the reality check, because a lot of people would have gone through this. 10th of March, it was 0.033. We wouldn't have known at the time if it was going to do a big pullback. 23rd of June, 3 months later, it came down 82%. 82%. Horrific. For the first time you've experienced it, if you put in 10 grand, you're now on, 2 grand, or if you put in 100 grand, you're now on 20 grand. It's a big pullback. 82% can be shocking, but it's the reality of, I call it retail venture capital. You're speculating. The projects have not matured yet. They haven't released their mainnet yet, and so on and so forth. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom into this next section, because then the reality for those that can hodl, that understand that you are probably going to take some drawdowns of 50%, 80%, 90%, but it's because we want to hodl for this bit when the next contraction and expansion, the expansion of the market, when it happens and we hodl through it, that's where the big gains are made. So now, all of this part, this was the 82% drawdown. It looks flat, but this is what it looked like. This was the reality of the situation. This was what it was. So then, now we kind of get the perspective hack. Sometimes it's hard to see the vision of the future of what's going to happen if you haven't seen it before, if you've not experienced. So again, this was the 10th of March, 0.033. And up here was 71 cents, right? 71 cents it got up to. That's an all-time high on the 28th of November. That's 8 months. So from there to there, Imagine this. This is why I'm drawing like this. I'm gonna just draw this extra annotation here. Imagine you bought here, and then you had this drawdown, 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 drawdown. You're 82% down. Your 10 grand, your 10K is worth 2K. You're crying, you're moaning, everyone's hearing about it. But then the market takes off and you manage to hodl, bang. And if you manage to sell at 71 cents, all of a sudden you are now no longer down. You're now 2,200% up. Yeah. So this is important to note. This is the reality of low caps, especially if you're doing low caps and it's younger projects. It includes IDOs as well. We are saying 0.033, the market would have went down, bam, bam, and then right away back up. So from here to here, net is actually, or gross is 2,000. So 22x, 22x, really, really important. And I'm showing you this because this can happen with a lot of projects, not with all projects, but a lot of projects. And this part is the part that I want to prepare you for. Is this part, right? This part is especially if you're new to crypto, and because it's an unusual market because we're seeing price data for projects that are really, really young. Normally, in traditional markets, you only see price data for projects that are listed on a stock exchange, and there's only more mature projects that tend to list. So then let's take the second example, right? So that was 8 months. Now, if you manage to, let's just say you did buy at 0.006, let's just say you didn't buy up here, somehow you managed to read the market and you waited and you bought at the low down here at the 0.006, what would that have been? That was a whole different ballgame because that was 11,800%. That's 118x in 5 months, right? So the lesson here, I'm showing you this for a particular reason. It's the reality check, right? We've seen it with different projects recently, but people judge too soon. Like this, if this, let's just imagine this was a few months ago and now is here, everyone's crying, because it's 82%. That's a big drawdown. But then in hindsight, it's like, what was the issue? Because now the people that bought at the top are 22x up. People that bought at the bottom are now 118x up, right? And this is the reality of the game. So you have to be, if you're playing the game, you have to understand the rules. And if you can't, can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen kind of thing. This is a reality. This is a reality. So it's the probabilities, never certainties. It's not just up, up, up. It has to go through a correction. It's natural. It's normal. So what we're going to do next is we're going to zoom in to the next part of the market, because the key is, because I said at the beginning of the video, is 100x's are great if you manage to sell. Because how many people were able to sell at 71, right? Because you have to be able to read the market, right? Read the market. So what we're going to do next is we're going to zoom in and really kind of focus a bit more on how can we read this and this, because what happened next was another big correction. And then we're probably going to see another impulse wave and then another big correction. And the thing that I've found that people are the weakest at is not actually buying down here or down here, because that doesn't take, is a reasonable amount of skill. The real skill is being able to sell close to the top. If you can sell close to the top, that's where you can bag the 100x's or the 20x's and the 10x's and the 1000x's, etc., etc. So what I want to show next is we're just zoomed in now. And when I'm looking at GalaGames, this chart, I don't really care what it is. I'm just looking at what's the Elliott wave style pattern over here that I'm seeing. Well, this is what I'm seeing here, right? So I'm going to just draw this. I'm going to use some of my, I'm going to teach you a couple of things. The here one, it's not a typical wave two, but it's a complex correction. There's no big correction. So this is, I can only see this wave three. And then this is like a complex long correction, similar to the wave two in terms of time. And then this looks like a wave four. That's what it looks like to me. So if you've been following my stuff, I teach Elliott wave and Fibonacci. And one of the courses that I have is Elliott wave and Fibonacci. And what I show in the course is lesson 16 is, this is important, and you want to see this, is wave one, wave two, and wave three. Most common wave threes are 1.62 of wave one. I'm going to measure that. And then overextended wave three is 2.62. But check this out in GalaGames. You need to be aware of this for the new crypto projects, the projects that you're looking at and you're into when this happens. So I've measured it over here. I'm just going to pull this up. This over here, measured wave one. And I've added 2.6, as in this is now the 2.618, and this is 34 cents. Now with Gala Games, it did an overextension of the overextension. So I am very familiar with panic buying. When you see unsustainable panic buying, guess what you should be doing? Especially if you've been buying down here and buying down here. Guess what it is? Can you guess it? Right? If you bought down here, or you bought down here, or you bought previously and you held those waves, what should you be doing in this red box? Profit taking. Profits. This is where you bag your 100x's, right? This here. Yeah, you have to be ready to take profits, at least with part of your position. You should definitely be risk free at this point if you bought anywhere down here, right? And I'm using GalaGames as the example because it's a trending coin. I think it's going to explode again, but we want to look at what's likely to occur next. Right. And by the way, if you want to learn how to read the markets like a pro, Elliott Wave Fibonacci, buying and selling behavior, wave 4 is a typical traditional profit taking wave, and you want to be able to anticipate that. Take my free Elliott Wave Fibonacci masterclass. I have also got my course. It's normally $997, and right now we're doing a 9% discount. It's £97 for the full course. It's phenomenal, getting great feedback. But again, you just see these patterns play out time and time again. But what do most people do? What do most people do? Well, most people that buy down here, are very ecstatic over here, but they think it's just going to continue going up. They just think it's just going to continue going up. But when you identify these ratios in advance, there's people that is going to take profits. And there's only normally 5, 10, 20% of people that can read the market like that, that manage to take these big profits on the way down. And then a lot of people literally hold their bags and giving money back to the market. So let's just say you bought down here, you hodl, you're very happy, euphoric, you think the market's going to only go up, then it comes right the way back down, and then you just think, why did I not take profits? I was 50x up, I was 20x up, I was 10x up, I was 100x up, but I didn't realize those profits. So that's the whole point of today's video. So now let's just look at what's likely to happen with GalaGames. It's now a great time to buy GalaGames because now it's a mature oak tree. Is this the game that you want to be playing? If it is, it's more trading, because I'm going to show you a couple of things. Or are you going to look for the next low cap gem that has the potential of doing what GalaGames has already done? And we're going to look at both. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what comes after 4 is a wave 5. Now, just so you're clear, with young projects, especially when there's high speculation, this is a very deep 4. If this is a wave 4, it's very deep. Right, but it doesn't go into the range of wave 1, which is one of the Elliott wave rules. So when I was looking at this ago, that's the most obvious wave count that I can see. So after a wave 1, 2, 3, deep 4, what should you anticipate is a wave 5. And what I want to show you is, again, is back to my course. There's a lesson, I think it's lesson 17. It's called Price Fib Extensions for Wave 5s. And again, market's moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. And one of the key ratios that I use, you measure wave 1 to 3, project it from this low over here, and there's a few key ratios. But the key ratio that we're going to focus on is this one here. We're going to measure 1 to 3 and project it from the lower wave 4. This is the typical maximum wave 5 zone. Typical maximum wave 5 zone. I found in crypto it does tend to overextend, so you're probably going to see an overextension. But if we just go, we can see what is the potential of GalaGames with high probability, reasonable probability. Well, I've done the math. It's around 3 to 5x from where it is today, because it's a giant oak tree, right? So to go from a 2 billion market cap to a 6 to 10 billion market cap project is a big deal. It takes a lot of volume, a lot of buying, a lot of demand for the token. But from a percentage gains, if you're just speculating and looking to get the maximum yield or the maximum ROI, return on your investment, then 3 to 5x in the traditional world, I call this crypto land in traditional world, TradFi, traditional finance, 3 to 5x within a year is phenomenal. In this world, we go, So what I want to share with you next, again, take my free Elliott Wave Fibonacci Masterclass, because I talk about these wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, the relationship, the dynamic relationship, the key ratios you want to be aware of. And if you like the course, it's absolutely free. The masterclass, if you like it, buy my course, £97. You get an invite to my private Telegram. We do weekend workshops. Today's Saturday, so today we're doing a workshop for my private group. We're going to cover a few different things. I'm going to do a bit of a deeper dive even on this as well, and Bitcoin. So I want to finish off with a project that I've seen. I actually got into their IDO, which was actually an IGO, initial game offering, that looks like it's in this phase of the market, in this phase of growth, in comparison to where GalaGames was. And I believe it has the potential to do this, right? To whatever degree. Remember, probabilities never certainties. Remember the GalaGames example. People that bought at that 0.033 would have taken an 82% drawdown and then made a 22x in total. And the people that bought at the bottom, that managed to buy at the bottom, would have made over 100x. But again, this is a risky game. This is retail venture capital. This is high speculation. But there's a couple of things you can put into your favor when the price is so low with a strong project. So I got one for you. Again, do your own research. This is just me looking at it. So this is the project. Go, Jigir, what is this? It's been tanking. I go, I know. The project had its IDO. It did 60, 70x, and then it's just been down, 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 down. But now it's launching its mainnet, mini games, and this, that, and the other. So we're naturally probably going to see a spike, and as the optimism in the market comes in, we're probably going to see some big movement. So here's the data for you. First IDO was on GameZone. It was the first IDO or IGO, should I say, on the GameZone launchpad. The IDO price or the IGO price, IDO and IGO means the same thing. Initial DEX offering, initial game offering, it's the same thing. It was 0.01, so it was 1 cent. And today's price is under 4 cents. As I'm looking at it today, it's under 4 cents. That means it's less than 4x from its initial DEX offering, initial game offering price, the token generation event. It's a 4x. Whereas when it launched, it did a 68x. So it got to 68 cents. So that means it's 95% down. Now, again, what is it? Look, caveat over here. This is high risk, right? This is do your own research. There's no guarantees here. These kind of strategies, you can make 100x, 20x. But again, you saw in GalaGames, people that bought at 0.033, they took a drawdown of 82% before, but they had to be patient for 5 to 8 months. 5 to 8 months before they realized that 20x. And they had to read that market to be able to realize there as well. But this particular project, I think is going to do well. It's called CryptoPolis. CryptoPolis is like the Sims, but on the blockchain. CryptoPolis, check it out. I think it's cool. I got into the IGO. I actually exited the 10% because you get 10% released at the token generation event at 50x or 47, 50x. And then just been hodling during this 95% drawdown, which is horrific. But just hodling, staking. They got their staking live and had it live for a while. They got their NFTs going live. I think their beta launch of their mini games is this quarter. But again, just purely speculation. It's highly speculative when it's this young. So just do your own research. But CryptoPolis, check it out. But it's 4x from its IDO price or IGO price. So there you have it. So let me know what you think about today. We did GalaGames. It was really just a case study of the waves that it's gone through. Take my Fibonacci and Elliott Wave free masterclass because you want to be able to learn how to read the markets, wave ones, wave twos, wave threes. And when a wave three overextends and then it overextends more, you need to be thinking not because your portfolio is going to make you euphoric. So let's just say you had $5,000 into a certain thing and it's gone parabolic and it's parabolic beyond parabolic. And the euphoria you're going to feel, let's just say your 10 grand is worth 100 grand or your 5 grand is worth 50 grand or your whatever it is, whatever your numbers are, right? It's just up 10x to 100x, right? If it was 100x, like your 5 grand's worth $500,000, that's what 100x is for 5 grand. So you're going to be euphoria. But you need to calm yourself, get mechanical and business-like and go, right, like how I would see it is, Jagir, there's a 1.618 typical. Okay, it's hit the 2.618. That's an overextended wave 3. Geez, it's gone double. Okay, hang on a second. This is panic buying, FOMO, fear of missing out. I don't want to fall into that trap. Take some profits, whether it's a third of your position, half of your position, 10% of your position, whatever your business plan is. So as that pullback happens, you're comfortable holding through it because you sold a good chunk, and rightly so, because you bought at the bottom. You're speculating and letting it do its thing. And if it pulls back, either you can buy back in or just hodl and then wait for that next leg. And then the next leg kicks off, you just have your plan. And again, it's the same thing. If CryptoPolis, again, there's no guarantees in it. I have to emphasize this. I'm not even hyping it. I'm just kind of going, look, there is IGO back in, when was it? It must have been, I don't know, it's been month. I think it's October. I think it was October, right? So it's been 3-4 months, right? 3-4 months. 70x or just under 70x, and now right away back down to a 4x. But it's launching, it's building, they're doing AMAs and everything else. But there's other projects also that are 19x, which were 600x on IDO and pulled back down to a 19x. So your job, if you like this strategy, because it's not for everyone, you have to have a bit of thick skin, you have to have high risk tolerance and be comfortable with 50, 70, 80, 90% drawdowns, knowing that to get a 10x, 20x, and some of them to 100x, sometimes it will flip straight away and go boom. I also would look at, 3x, 5x, 10x, whatever your comfort range is, to get risk free at that range. So let's just say it was CryptoPolis. Today's price this morning was around 3.2 cents, 0.032 or thereabouts. It's under 4 cents. Let's say it was 4 cents and you're new, you haven't done this before. Well, if you buy at 4 cents, I would look to get risk free at 12 cents as a 3x, right? It multiplies by 3, sell a third of your tokens if that's your kind of thing. Others more mature, more kind of ready for kind of hodling for whatever, 5x, 10x, 20x, whatever suits you. And just play with it as well. But I'm emphasizing that there's a high risk strategy. This is retail venture capital. And you saw with GalaGames, even though it's a $2 billion market cap and it's been much higher in terms of all-time high is more closer to, I think it was like 70 cents thereabouts. And we're anticipating 88 cents. And that would be like a $6 to $10 billion market cap. But there was a time where it draw down 82%. And you need to be aware of that, right? Because people just look at the hype train and look at the end number, the highest number. They don't realize people had to go for a bit of a war and hold through. And the strongholders were rewarded in the end. All right, let's finish on a quote. And let me know how you found that. Let me know. But do take my free Anyway Fibonacci Masterclass. If you like it, buy my course. We do workshops. Doing a workshop today. Tend to do it every Saturday. All right, chapter 8. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. Henry Ford. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. So, it's been a bearish period intermediate wise. We seem to have a bit of a trend reversal and there's money flowing back into the markets, but it's still early days to really have that confirmation. So during this uncertain time, just double down on learning. I would say Elliott Wave and Fibonacci. Elliott Wave, we can read the markets and just start with the basics. Real basics. I cover foundation, intermediate, advanced, and then learn the ratios, the typical ratios between wave 1 and wave 3, the typical retracements between the end of a wave 2 and the end of a wave, end of a wave 1, end of a wave 2. And once you kind of go, these markets just move in cycles and trends based on human psychology of fear and greed, optimism and pessimism, euphoria and depression. And it just literally goes in these cycles again and again and again. So when you see these parabolic moves, guess what? It doesn't just go one way because the money runs out, the optimism runs out, and then people want to take profits, bump, bump, bump. And then people start flooding fear, uncertainty, and doubt, negative feelings, depression, fear, bump. And then people, smart money, go, okay, this is now undervalued, buy. The trend reversal, I think GalaGames is now seeing that. I think we're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6x over the coming 3 to 6 months. But something like CryptoPolis, there's a few others as well I'm going to be talking about over the coming weeks and months when there's more clearer optimism and the probability is a bit higher. We can look at these low cap gems. But again, you have to know there's a lot of risk involved. I'm emphasizing this because we spoke about some in the past and some took off and some didn't take off. And that's part of the game and you have to take full responsibility. You have to look in the mirror. I'm going to read one more quote, because this one's important. This one's really important. I can't remember what chapter it is though. Hold on. It's going to be worth the wait, though. I think it's chapter 5. Oh, no, it was chapter 4. There we go. This is important. This is so important. If you're going to do this strategy, I would say you have to have a bit of thick skin. It's not easy. It's easy in the sense of, buy and sell and just execute. But emotionally, the game is 90% emotional. Then it's 90% or more psychology. That's the main thing. 10% is the technical, is easy to buy and sell. And, once you do the Elliott Wave and Fibonacci, that part, it gets easy. But this one, I'll finish on this. He or she who is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. He or she who is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. That's Benjamin Franklin, right? So if you're doing this strategy, you are deciding. If you end up buying, you are deciding. If you make money, good job. If you lose money, welcome to the game, right? We're playing crypto tennis. There's winners, there's losers, there's a zero sum game, and not everyone can win. But the more you're training, the more you're learning, the more you're giving yourself the edge, higher the odds of you winning crypto tennis. Hence, probabilities, never certainties. All right, see you soon.